A lot of videos in this module about defensive tactics will go into smaller details, where to cover, how close to cover. We want to go over some very basic principles of defensive zone coverage here in this video. As you can see, I've divided the defensive zone into 4 quadrants. We have a left defense, we have a right defense, right wing, and left wing. You'll notice I've missed out the goalie. Let's assume they're trying to prevent goals from going in the net, and I've left out the center, which I'll get to in a moment. Each of these positions end up at different times going to different areas of their quadrant, depending on the player that they're covering. In general, a right wing will come over not too far beyond half ever, and that would be when the puck is over on this side and the left winger is being a little bit more aggressive, covering his or her defense. Okay, if the puck was here and the left winger is here, the right winger would not want to be over here. We need to kind of shift together, generally being a shorter distance, maybe half the ice apart maximum at any one time. You'll notice from another video the prime scoring area cuts through these quadrants. So the right winger and the left winger have the freedom to collapse down into the prime scoring area, as low even as the hash marks, to prevent a goal. As the puck comes back out, they would come out to cover their D. So there's sort of an overlap here of the prime scoring area and the quadrant, which I find a really important point to make. Let me clean this up here. The same applies for the left D and the right D, in that they're working together and rarely end up on exactly the same side of the ice. If this D ends up in the corner battling for the puck, this lefty in general is somewhere in front of the net, and it would be a center supporting. So here's where the center comes in. We like to think about layers of an onion. So closest battle in here is the first layer. It's generally the first player into the corner, but ideally it would be the defense. The next layer of the onion is the center in a more supportive role. Okay, taken to an extreme, if this was the center in here, then this would be the D. But one player, first one in, is battling hard on the wall, and the next one is ready to jump if they see the puck come loose or if there's a second attacker from the other team. Puck switches sides. Left D would engage in the first layer of the onion, and the center would hustle across in front of the net into the second layer of the onion to support here. I guess we could think about this next layer of the onion being quite a bit bigger, and that defender, the other defender, and the other winger may have to come to the edges of that third layer in order to help out. And notice they kind of arrive at these points where their quadrant intersects with the onion. If the puck is right in front of the net, as we've talked about in other videos, generally we all need to condense and perhaps even leave our quadrants and just try to tie up a stick, one player against one player, man-on-man defensive zone coverage. So again, just to recap, we have the 4 quadrants. We have a zone for each winger, a zone for each D, and for the most part, while we don't have the puck, the center is going to cover these bottom quadrants. If the puck comes out here and this winger has to come out, then this center may come out to support, but should be trying to cover a player from the other team. So we have this mix of zone and man-on-man defense. Now as soon as we win the puck, now we're on offense and we need to support each other, but we'll get to that in the breakout section of this course. You're constantly changing from defense to offense. You have 2 jobs in the defensive zone. You're either defending or you're breaking out. You lose the puck, you're back to defending. And again, we will talk about that more in the transition from defense to offense. And for today, will stick more strictly with the defensive zones of coverage in the defensive zone. Hockey can be complicated. There are different philosophies, different techniques, but in general there's some common principles that will join all of these different systems and tactics together. And the quicker you can read the transitions from defense to offense, the better player you'll be and the more valuable player you'll be on your team. We'll see you in the next video.